What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about HBAR. It's been a second since I've made an HBAR video. Not too long, but it's not one of the ones that I talk about in the regular spin of things. But looking at this, I've been bearish on HBAR since back here. I have been calling for prices that could go all the way down to, I think I said below 4.6, which we've actually done officially today. And I think I said even down to like 4.3 or maybe 4.2, even potentially even lower than that. But 4.2, to put it in perspective, is right there. 420, it's right there at these previous lows. That's where I'm getting that from. Makes sense to find support in a previous area where you found support, and then if you look back, you take it into account, you found support here and here as well. Does it go back further? Yes, you found resistance here. You kind of find resistance here and resistance there. It's right in the middle of this overall price range, so I feel like that's relevant. It's a relevant area. Maybe we don't go down that low. All in all, that would be a higher low, which would be nice to see, but maybe we found our bottom here. We're going to go over it. But I have been bearish for quite some time. Just going to toot my own horn a little bit there. I was bearish here, and then we went up. And a couple of people were making comments like, you're wrong, and it's like, well, it's not over till it's over, and all this was a lower high. So I just want to keep that in mind. Looking at this, what do we still have? We have lower highs, we have lower lows, we are in the oversold zone in the RSI. That's what this is down here, right? And you're making lower lows. This is bearish convergence. Lower lows with lower lows, you are bearishly converging. And really what it looks like you're doing is you moved down, you took a break and consolidated. This is your dead cat bounce, and now you're having your last leg down. And that could take you below this low. It really could take you below this low. It might not. That's what we're going to kind of figure out. But the fact that you're in the oversold zone does not mean that this downtrend has to be over. In fact, you could go lower in the oversold zone, come back up, and even go lower, right, than you did before, or maybe you come back up and then you form a higher low, which still would promote lower prices, probably being in this oversold zone like this. So that leaves a lot of room to the downside. It definitely does, depending on how we make our movements down. Looking at the 4 hour here, you are in the oversold zone. You're pretty deep in the oversold zone here on the 4 hour. Yeah, that's some of the deeper movements you've gotten in this thing. Yeah, since all the way, I mean, the last time that you were this far, if not further, was all the way back here, and this was at the bottom. But again, just to keep it in perspective here, I'm going to put a line where we are now. Put a line like right there where we bounced. When we were on this line right here, we weren't quite done with the dump yet, were we? We were near it, but not quite there. Here, in fact, when we bounced off this line twice before, it was after a big dump here, formed some bullish divergence, moved sideways, and then lower. Here, you had your dump down a little bit, bounced off of this line. It looks like you actually formed some bullish divergence, and then you moved up, but ultimately lower. So bouncing off this line, I wouldn't think is a bullish thing. I definitely do think you have lower to go. And going all the way to 4.2 could realistically be an area. I kind of would, if it wasn't for the fact that you had this low here and this higher low here, I kind of would expect that you'd break this low and go lower than 4.2. It feels right, but man, I don't know. I would expect that you hold this. Ooh, I don't know, man. I'm actually kind of scared for HBAR right now, to be completely fair. I've been maintaining this idea that we would probably hold a higher low, but maybe we don't, man. Maybe we go lower. Let's see how we're reacting right now. This actually doesn't look good, to be completely fair. I'm like in denial with myself, but I got to be real here, right? Let's be real. That's what the numbers are for. That's what the charts are for. Look at this, yeah. From your relative low to your relative high, you broke through your 618, this first white line here. You tipped it, but then the next day you broke through it. I wouldn't even say that was a second attempt. I think this is a first attempt break. You got through and you rejected it. You literally got through and rejected it, man. If this was to the upside, right? If we broke through it from going down to up, if we broke through it and then found support on it, that'd be such a bullish thing. But this is actually very bearish, and I would be surprised with the overall look of this fib scale itself. I would be surprised if we found support on one of these deeper retracements. In fact, what I would more likely expect would be extensions, which would take you below this low here. That would take you down to about 2.7, maybe even 3.3 cents. So things are not looking good for HBAR, man, unfortunately. Like, truthfully, it's not looking good, guys. That can change. That can definitely change. You know how it would change? Again, this kind of 420 area. If we take this fib up here again, right, from low to high, you can see that that's right, like it corresponds with this 886 area, a very deep retracement, the next level down compared to the 786 here. It actually is the deepest retracement on a fib scale as far as like fib based numbers go. And the closing basis on these dailies lines up very well with that 886. So maybe 4.3 to 4.2 could be a low, but to avoid what looks to me to be kind of like a likelihood at this point in time, I would say this is the likelihood down here. To avoid that, you want to have a positive reaction with this, because I just don't see a bounce right here, man. It's possible you could get it here. I just don't see it happening. I personally don't see it happening. I think you just, like I said, you move down, dead cat bounce, you're just starting your next move down, which will probably be somewhat symmetrical to this move, if not bigger. Right, if this is your one leg down, two legs, that's your third leg. Third legs tend to be the bigger legs, but arguably, you know, you could have one down here, two, and then this is 3, 4, 5. I don't know. It's weird looking, but crypto's weird, so who cares? That's your hope, man. Hold the 4.2 to 4.3 area. You can go below this line here, but you don't really want to go below 4.20, 4.2 cents. Because if you do, likely you will break this low and you will likely go down here. I want to put some lines here and just see if that lines up with anything else previously. Right? We'll get rid of this fib. Doesn't really line up with anything, does it? Man, that would be new all-time lows for HBAR. That would be... No, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. That wouldn't be new all-time lows. That would be near its last cycles, not last cycle's lows, but last cycle's like kind of pit stop before we ran up here, right in the midst of this range. I don't know, man. It's possible. It really is possible. All you have right now is highs, lower highs, lows, lower lows. Yes, this is a higher low right here, but as soon as, if you take that out, man, you take out 420, you're going to take this low out, in my opinion, because at that point you're breaking the structure you have, this kind of inclining structure here. If you break out 420, you're already going to break that, and then breaking that wicking point here that has been resistance, support, resistance, like I think that would be critical enough to take this thing below that low. And if it goes below that low, you're very likely going, your next place to find support is at like the 3.333, 3 cents 0.333, or 2 cents 0.69. It's not a good look for HBAR, man. Let's look at the weekly RSI, see how this thing's going. Yeah, bro. Bad. Very, very bad. Not exciting at all, man. You've got this high here, higher high than this, right? You've got the higher highs here, but you have a lower high in price that's hidden bearish divergence. That would spell, historically, traditionally, what I would look for would be a lower low than this low here in this overall trend. So going lower than that, I think it does condemn you, man. I think it condemns you to, you know, this going lower than this low here would take you probably below this low here. And then maybe you form some kind of slightly lower double bottom. Wow, man, I really wasn't, I haven't been calling for this. I've been calling for a higher low, but I think you might get a lower low. I really do. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, you know, it's just getting worse, guys, unfortunately. But that's how it is. Sometimes you got to re-gauge. Sometimes you get down to these levels and things look good, and it's time to like start being bullish, actually. But right now, I mean, I've got no reason. There's no, I feel like we have all, look at this, man. Like you literally came up to like not even your 40. You got up into the bearish area of control, trying to break out of it, couldn't even get into it, and now you're oversold again. I really don't like this, guys. Bouncing off of the purple line here, coming up to test it and rejecting it there. This overall 618 from low to high, this is also a resistance, a rejection of that. Like this fib scale is very bearish to me, man. Not a good look at all. This is the one thing, in my opinion, that I would need to kind of condemn you to 1272 to the 1618, which is again around 2.69 cents to 3.35 cents, somewhere in that area. So that's all I got for you, man. I know I kind of took it on a spin from the beginning there. I was saying that I didn't think we'd go lower than this low, but as I was looking at it, man, I'm like, holy shit, this actually, it looks like it wants more. I wouldn't be surprised. If I'm wrong, prove me wrong, you need to find support in this zone right here. And when I say find support, I don't mean like you know, meander and like stuff like that. Like that could happen, sure, but like really what I'd like to see would be some kind of significant bounce back above the 886, a rather quick bounce, a tip like this, right? And then you just move straight up. You don't come back down for lower lows. So I don't know. Positive reaction in this zone would change my mind that we're going lower, but I just don't see that happening. But we'll see. We'll see. If you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will see you on the next one. Yeah, not encouraging at all, man. Very weak RSI throughout all of it. Yep. Increasing volume on not bullish divergence, but I mean on hidden bearish divergence technically. But I mean the 1 hour, I don't know, man. Some people might interpret this as bullish divergence. I think it just looks weak. I think it really looks weak. Pair that with the 4 hour and the daily too. Yeah, that's all I got. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.